Hi card making friends, it's Sandy here and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a more 3D embossing folder technique to share with you, and we're playing with some brand new embossing folders from Simon Says Stamps. They're three-dimensional. Okay, we're also going to be using watercolor paper this time because we're going to spritz. We have some pretty colors of Simon Says ink, some ink blending tools, a couple of Copic markers. You need a Kleenex, you need a microfiber cloth, and you need a distressed sprayer. I'm going to start with the new fantastic Florals embossing folder, and it also has a couple of dies that come with it, but we're not using it today. And so we've got our watercolor paper cut to A2 size, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. You see I spritzed both sides, and I'm going to pop it inside the folder, lining up where I want the flowers on my card. Okay, when I get it situated where I want it, popping it into my die cutting machine, and I'm adding the top layer plus a shim because I want maximum depth in my embossing. Okay, so here is the beautiful embossed image. I know it's hard to see because it's white on white. Take my word for it, it's beautiful. The second one is the Pristine Lilac, and this again is beautiful, and I angled my paper a little bit just to add some interest to the image. Again with a shim, I'm running it through the die cutting machine, and so now we need to set these inside and let them dry, or as you see right here, I'm going to take the heat tool to them and I'm going to dry them off. And if they start to warp, just turn them over and heat the other side. That will flatten it out. We're on the debossed side. So the part that is indented is going to be the top where we're going to be working. And we're starting off with the purples, and I am using Orchid and Iris, and then I've also got Surf that I'm going to be using for the leaves. Okay, so I'm using these tiny little round blending brushes, and they're from Waffle Flower. They're the zeros. I like these for little tiny spots. And you see I am working my way extremely randomly around this iris and adding the purple. I'm leaving some spots because I'm also going to add the darker purple, and I'm going to add a little bit of the blue. And this is going to give me depth of field in my flowers when we finish the final steps in the process of making these. So this is a take on the Blackout Technique, and I've got a video that many of you watched. I will link that in the comments underneath this video, so you can go and look at that one where I play with the front of the embossing folder instead of the back, but then you have to color in the background. This one, we're going to do all that with an ink pad, and you won't believe how fast it is. Okay, so I'm working my way through my colors here, and I'm just about finished my two purples. Now I'm bringing in some of that blue. And pick whatever colors you want. I actually picked quite bright colors, mostly because I wanted them to show up in this video, but also because I really like bright colors. They make me happy. Okay, so I'm taking that same blue and I'm doing the leaves. And you're just going to work your way around, filling in the leaves, and try and be careful and stay within the indent of the embossed image. Don't worry about it if you don't, because the final technique will kind of cover up any little boo-boos that you have. Okay, so we're just finishing up on the last couple of flowers, or petals, sorry. And you want fairly good coverage on this. Now I'm going to bring in my marker, and this is BG11, which lines up quite well with the blues, and I'm just going to color in the stems because they are too thin for my little brush to get in there. So the markers work quite well. And I had a couple of spots there that I could see that were white, and I'm just coming back and coloring some of them in. A little bit more purple down this side. So it doesn't need to be perfect by any stretch of the imagination. And like I kind of said in the first video, they don't look that great while we're working through the process. Bear with me, they're going to be beautiful at the end. So don't look at this stage and go, oh, this is so ugly, Sandy, I'm throwing this out. Please don't. Carry on. Okay, so I switched out to the other one. This is the Fantastic Florals, and I'm going to do these flowers in the blue, and then I'm going to do the background in the purple. And right about here, I decide I need to re-ink this ink pad. It is terrible. So Simon has re-inkers for all of their ink pads. This is Surf, okay, and this is how I like to ink. I blop it all down in here, get a great big blotch going all over the surface, and then I take a little plastic spoon and I smooth it all out. And if you don't do that and you're stamping, say, something like a sentiment, you're going to get light and dark spots. Because of the type of ink pad this is, the little sponge, it's good to move it around so that you've got even saturation of your ink all the way through your ink pad. It's also very important when we get to the final step of this technique, because you need a very juicy ink pad, and this is going to be one of the backgrounds. So it was a good time for me to re-ink. And I already re-inked my orchid because that's the background for the other one. Okay, so back to coloring in the leaves, or the flowers, sorry. And this is going to go a lot faster because, of course, there's a lot more ink on the ink pad. I've also sped this up because you already saw me color one. And this one, I do all of the flowers in the same color, and you'll see why again in the very last step. Okay, so you're going to grab the other two Copic markers. The BG49 is for the stems, and the Y19 is for the little stamens in these flowers. And we're just going to quickly color those in, and then again I see a couple of spots that need to get a little bit more filling. And then there's lots of stems on this one, so just quickly color those in. Again, you don't need to be perfect with it. Okay, so we've got both of these. I move everything out of the way. I'm also working on top of a glass mat, and I am going to spritz these. Simon Says Stamps Positively Saturated inks are water-based, and so you can spritz them like this, and it helps to blend the colors, and it helps to add to the kind of watery look of the flowers when we're completely finished. Okay, and it's just a really, really cool way to blend really quickly. And so again, now I have to dry these. So I'm going to get out my heat tool again, and we're going to dry them off, and they have to be completely dry for the final step. And I'm going back in and I'm adding more of the blue to the leaves in the bottom of the lilac, because I was also doing that with the ink pad that wasn't very juicy. So I want the addition of the color. I'm adding these back in, and then I have to spritz them again to get kind of the watercolor feel for this. So I'm adding a little bit more blue up near the top. Now that I have kind of the watercolor, I can see that I need a little bit more blue in there for some depth. Okay, and so I'm spritzing this again, giving it a really good wet, and I have a tissue that I am picking up any puddles with. You can use paper towel as well. And then we're just coming back in and we're heat setting them. If you get a big warp, flip it over and heat it from the back, and again, it will flatten it out. And you need it as flat as possible for the next step. Okay, we've got them nice and dry, but this one is still a little bit warped, so I'm bending it back. Watercolor paper is very forgiving anyway. It's very easy to manipulate it, and so get it as flat as you can, and then you want to grab a couple of pieces of scrap paper. I use pieces of photocopy paper. Okay, lay it flat down. I'm going to zoom in for you here. I'm using the Ocean ink pad, and it is very juicy, and I'm going to create my blackout. Here's my background. Isn't this incredible? These colors together are amazing, and this embossing folder has such a beautiful, beautiful, deep details that it just makes spectacular flowers when you do this. It's amazing. Okay, the tissue paper, find a dry one. It's to hold on to the other side that's been inked while you do the final strip down the left side. And there we go. That's it. That's all there is to it. But aren't they fabulous? I was just so excited for this. Colors. Okay, moving on to the Fantastic Florals, and we're going to use Orchid for this one. And even if you have some dirt on the side like I do, no biggie. just grab that ink pad. Look what it does to these flowers. The way the embossing folder is created, I ended up with purple petals inside the blue petals without even doing any work. All I did was swipe that ink pad. Isn't that incredible? These embossing folders are very cool. Awesome. Love this one too. Okay, I think we need to do a little splatter. So you want to let these dry for a few minutes, and then you want to check. I have a couple of spots here that I didn't really get with the stems. Just checking if there's any indentations that don't have color, okay? You don't want any white spots showing. And so I'm showing you the two flowers on the right-hand side. The one on the left-hand side, the one I'm pointing to right now, I did that before I re-inked my orchid ink pad, and it really made a difference in the background. And also notice for the lilac, I didn't get quite enough ink in the center of the one on the left-hand side. So I need to go back over that one to get the darker. And this is the watercolor paper I'm using. It's Canson 140 pound. And we need to do some sentiments. New from Simon this month is Inside Greetings #1. And there's a whole bunch of different greetings for the inside of the cards. We'll be stamping those in a couple of minutes. And then the Mandala Blossoms. This is a beautiful stamp set with coordinating dies, and see the new dies, they're beautiful. I'm going to be using a couple of those sentiments. I decided on the thanks and the smiles, and I'm doing them in black. I'm going to stamp them in Versamark, and I'm going to gold emboss them. So I'm just rubbing my stamps. This is the first time that I've used them, so just getting any of the sealant off and using my anti-static on my black cardstock. Okay, and then obviously I'm using a Misty. Here's getting my gold embossing ready. And we're ready to go. Versamark ink. Ink it up really well. And because these are brand new stamps, I'm going to stamp it twice to make sure that I get good coverage. They get a little coating on them when they're made, and you have to rub the coating off. You saw me rubbing it with my fingers and kind of priming it, getting that stuff off so that they stamp well. Anyway, stamped it in Versamark. Okay, I'm going to close my Misty so I don't get any embossing powder in there. Covering it, shaking off the excess, and we're going to heat set it. And then in a minute, we will use the coordinating dies and we will die cut them. For the inside of the cards, because I did one for thanks for everything and the other one is smiles, I'm picking two different sentiments to put on the inside, and I'm going to use my VersaFine Claire ink. I love this stuff. It is so black. And you usually only have to stamp it once. But again, this is a brand new stamp set, so you might have to stamp it a couple of times. Okay, so don't close it right away because the VersaFine takes a few minutes to dry. Okay, so leave it open. She says, famous last words. I did leave it open, and I left them just out of view when I did my splatter, and I ended up with gold splatter inside both of them. You probably will notice that a little bit farther down this video. Anyway, here's my second one. Okay, just cleaning off, and here we go. Here's the coordinating dies. I'm going to die cut these, and then we're going to set them aside while we work on some splatter. So I have some white acrylic paint. I've also got the gold, and the gold is the Yasumoto pale gold watercolor, and Simon sells this as well, and you just spritz it. It's nice that it's got a lid. Even if it's wet, you can just put the lid on it, put it back in your drawer. Okay, so I'm just watering down the white acrylic to get it splatterable, giving you a little practice on my beautiful paper towel inside my spot box. Okay, and we're going to go to town. And unfortunately, or fortunately, these will not stay white because we are dealing with water-based ink already on our art pieces. And so what happens when you splatter it, it activates it. And so they're going to be lighter, but they're going to be, in this case, blue. And in the other tops, when we get those done, the white is going to turn out a little bit paler purple. It's going to pick up the color from beneath. The gold, I think it's got more pigment in it, so it does actually stay gold. I've yet to find a white that if you put it on a water-based ink stays white. It's really hard to find. Anyway, it gives it a nice contrast and it looks really cool on the finished one that you will see in a few minutes. Okay, so I have flipped out to the purple and blue and adding a little bit more water to my gold just to get it going. And I like lots of splatter. Okay, and then obviously we have to let these dry or heat set them. And we're ready to start putting our cards together. So they're A2 sized. Top folding is what I'm going to use. Because the lumpy is on the back, you want to use a very strong adhesive. And there's nothing stronger than red line tape, which is what I'm using. And we want to make sure that we stay as close to the outside edge as possible. This will adhere it really well to the card base and make it look nice and professional without any quarters sticking up. Again, we have wet this watercolor paper twice, so it's not flat anymore. So this will help it get flat again. Okay, so you just pop that down and then use your tweezers to get the corner of that release paper up and get it out of the way. And then you'll see I use my Score Buddy. I use the top left-hand corner and I wedge my card in there, making sure that it's going the right way, and wedge the art piece in there and lay it down flat. Now, when you got 3D embossing folders, they tend to make your paper a little bit shorter. So you're going to have to trim your card base, and I'm using my Spellbinder scissors to do this. I like these long scissors for doing this particular job. Okay. For this one, I cut the watercolor paper to 4 by 5 1/4, and so I have a nice white border that's going to show through. So I'm going to put all 4 of these cards together, but I'm doing the blue ones first. I've already got my adhesive on the back, so again, I'm just tapping that down. I'm going to use my microfiber cloth to push it to make sure it's nice and flat, and there we go. So we can add our sentiments, and I'm using Simon's 3D foam squares. There's 2 sizes in this package. I've already used up all the little ones, so these are the big ones. And so I like to cut them in half, makes them go twice as far, because I'm thrifty. Okay, and you're just going to add some to the back and make sure you get the right sentiment with the right inside of the card. Okay, and I'm going to stick both of these in the bottom right-hand corner. I don't know why, I just really like my sentiments in the bottom right-hand corner. So right about there. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with this one. And stick it right in the corner. Next up, we're going to add some embellishments. And these are the Gold Positively Saturated Dazzling Gems. Okay, and I'm using my embellishment wand and picking up 3 in 3 sizes. I like odd numbers and I like odd sizes. I think it adds interest to the card. And then I'm taking my Barely Art glue and we're just going to glue these little guys down. And obviously I'm going to do exactly the same thing with the blue flowers with the purple background, and I'll show you those finished in just a minute here. I didn't think I needed to show you the steps when I'm already showing you these ones. Okay, so we're done. So here we go. Here's all 4 of the cards. So some are full, some have a nice white trim. Which one do you like better? I can't decide. Here's the one with the white border showing. And I do like that. It provides a contrast. And then here's the blue flowers with the purple background. I also like this one going right off the edge. Very pretty. Anyway, everything I have used today is listed underneath this video. There's also a link over to my blog where you can see the thumbnails of everything that we've used. And if you enjoyed today's video, please consider giving me a thumbs up and sharing it with your friends. I would really appreciate that. And until next time, toodles.